If you want to break into tech in 2025 but don't know how to take that first step or are unsure which role is the right one for you, then this video is going to answer a lot of your questions. Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Maggie. I'm a data scientist turned entrepreneur. It's been more than a year since I've done a data science career Q&A, and I want to cover a few of the most commonly asked questions that I get across multiple platforms in this video. And hopefully it can help a lot of you taking that first step breaking into your dream role in tech. I'm going to tap into both my personal experience, things I've observed working in the industry firsthand. We're going to cover questions like, how do I know which career path is the right one for me in tech? How to find your very first tech job without experience? How to stand out as an entry-level applicant? How to find referrals from big tech companies and network with people on LinkedIn that you don't know but actually get a response. Let's dive into the first question. How can I break into tech? This question sounds simple, but it's actually so complex and dependent on your specific scenario. Because there are so many roles in tech, I actually created a whole series of videos to help you gain insights into each role. I'll link that playlist up here. There are also various tests that you can take to figure out which role you're most interested in based on your background and interest. For example, TripleTen Bootcamp has a free career quiz. It asks you some very interesting questions and only takes about 3 to 5 minutes to complete. This could be that very first small step that you take to figure out which roles you want to be in tech. For the sake of today's video, we're going to focus on those of you who want to become software engineers, data scientists, or data analytics professionals. To break into tech, first, you need relevant credentials. For data scientists, this means an undergraduate degree at the very minimum. One independent study shows that 80% of data scientists hold more than a bachelor's degree, such as a PhD or master's degree or a bootcamp certificate. Now, your undergraduate degree doesn't have to necessarily be a relevant degree. Many people have the misconception that in order to become a data scientist, you need to come from a data science background. But if you're looking at data scientists who are working in the field today, you notice that most data scientists didn't actually come from a data science background. So what happened there? Basically, data science degree didn't exist, it only emerged in the past couple of years. When I went to the University of Toronto, I actually didn't have the option to major in data science. It just wasn't a major at all. I ended up doing a double major in statistics and human geography based on my skills and interests without knowing that data science was the field I wanted to go into after graduation. With that being said, your degree should still be quantitative in nature in a field such as physics or economics. That is, unless you already have significant working experience in a professional setting. If you have an arts undergrad as opposed to a science undergrad, then you might need to go through a bootcamp to supplement your knowledge around linear algebra or coding. I partnered with TripleTen today in this video as an example of what you should be looking for when you're checking out bootcamps to break into tech. And before we get into that, there are other roles in tech that are not data scientists and don't require a classic degree. For example, you can still be 100% self-taught software engineer in today's market. One of the reports by statistica.com estimated 25% of software engineering today don't actually have an undergraduate degree. This number checks out to me based on my personal experience knowing people who work in the field in US and Canada. But in this specific scenario, when you're looking to get your first tech job, to get your foot in the door, you will need to balance this out with either significant project building experience or connections that can get you referrals at companies, or ideally both. I fully realize that not all of you have decided on your path at this stage, and that's where the professionals at TripleTen come in. TripleTen has dedicated career advisors that offer free career consultation. During the call, you're consulted on what occupation might be a good fit for you based on your career path, background, knowledge, and desires. You can use the link in the description box below or the QR code on screen to book a slot for this career consultation for free. All in all, I would say that tech is still very accessible to everyone today. It's not like finance where you would have to go through a business degree at prestigious schools. And this is great news because for those of you who have worked in industry for years, you don't have to go back to school. You have options. Jenny was an elementary school music teacher before COVID changed everything for her. She found herself having to wrangle 4-year-olds in Google Meets every day. And that's when she picked up HTML to create asynchronous solution to keep her students engaged. And that's when she found out that she actually really enjoyed coding. That led her to a part-time bootcamp at TripleTen, where she built up her skills, created multiple portfolio projects, and landed a job as a software engineer. Jefferson also successfully landed a software engineer job after completing the TripleTen software engineering bootcamp when he realized that his HR career was becoming stagnant and unchallenging. Now, this may be cliche sounding, but if other people can become software engineers, having worked in a field like music or HR for years, then you can too. Before we weigh the option of self-taught versus degree versus bootcamp, what is TripleTen? It's an online part-time coding bootcamp designed to help individuals transition to tech careers even without prior experience. 87% of TripleTen's graduates get hired within 180 days, and they offer a 100% money-back guarantee if it takes you longer than 10 months to find a relevant job in the field. They offer programs in fields like software engineering, data science, cybersecurity, quality assurance, and business intelligence analytics. If you have a lot of other responsibilities in life and can't commit to going back to school full time, you want to not only learn the technical skills required for the job, but also network with like-minded peers, build a portfolio of real-world projects, and showcase your skills with their industry partners. You heard me. One of the huge benefits of attending TripleTen is that you get to practice building real-world projects with real-world companies. TripleTen's externships give students a chance to apply their skills to real-world tasks. During your externship, you will apply your skills and present your project to a partner company in real time, which is a great opportunity to showcase your hard and soft skills and possibly get a return offer. You also have access to mentors who actually work in the field and can help you prepare for technical interviews and tap into their alumni network for job referrals. TripleTen offers professional support options outside of your regular curriculum, including access to tutors, code reviewers, and career coaches. You can choose all you need or mix and match. Their bootcamps offer a balance of flexibility and structure. It's shorter than a traditional degree, and you can still work full-time while pursuing this, but it is more guided than self-teaching, and a structured curriculum can get you job ready in months instead of years. You graduate with a portfolio and networking built into the experience. While it can still be a significant financial investment for some, it remains a much cheaper option than going back to school full-time. The thing that I really like about TripleTen is that you have access to the calendar to book time with your career mentors or tutors, where you can use it as tutoring office hours if you need help, or just working session if you're more of a collaborative person. Now, self-taught is the most flexible and affordable option of the three, but it takes a certain kind of people to be able to succeed in this way. There is an overwhelming amount of free or low-cost resources out there, which is both good and bad. Good in that everything is extremely accessible, but it's also so easy to fall into these tutorial traps or simply not knowing where to start, or which combination of resources you can actually trust to put you on the right track. You can go at your own pace, which is perfect if you have an unpredictable schedule and tailor your learning to focus on what actually interests you the most. And lastly, a degree in computer science or data science, especially a master's or a PhD, is still the golden standard in many tech roles. It is a long-term credential that can open doors in industries where degree is still a requirement, and you get to have access to university resources such as career fairs and professor networks. But some of these degrees can be extremely expensive and time-consuming, and there's a chance that the technologies taught can be out of date with the fast-paced nature of the tech industry. For example, a lot of data science programs are still teaching R, which is great if you want to stay in academia, but Python tends to be the language used by most tech companies in a lot of industries. Now, which one of these three options is right for you depends on your time commitment, financial situation, and career timeline. If you're highly motivated, enjoy working independently, and have a lot of time to dedicate to experimenting and building projects, you may want to try the self-teaching route. If you're looking for long-term investment and you have the resources to commit to full-time study, a degree could be the right path. If you want to transition to tech relatively quickly, need structure and accountability, and you can dedicate 10 to 20 hours a week to learning, then bootcamp is the right way to go. TripleTen has plenty of support for parents as well who find it hard to juggle childcare, other jobs, and studying. Their latest report, Choosing Tech to Balance Parenthood and Work, involved insights from talking to 2,000 parents about the realities of modern work and parenting. Parents like Rita and Rochelle are both TripleTen graduates who found the 2-week sprints flexible enough to manage alongside motherhood and gained a lot of time management skills along the way. Now, the next question is coding bootcamp still worth it? Ever since I started posting on Instagram about data science 3 years ago, this is the question I receive every single week. In my opinion, yes, but with caution. Boot camps have evolved with the industry. They are able to adapt to changes in tech much faster than traditional graduate programs, mainly because they don't have to navigate the bureaucracy that slows down big universities. You can think of it as similar to how startups can pivot a lot faster than bigger and more established tech companies. This is why if you want to bring in new tech fast, a lot of times boot camps can help you get there. The single most important question that you want to ask when you're doing your research on bootcamp is, where do their graduates go? This can tell you so much about the program's quality and reputation. A few years ago, when I was looking at graduate school programs, I found one that seemed like a perfect fit for my interest. But when I checked out their graduates on LinkedIn, I noticed that almost every person who graduated from their master's degree that year had open to work banner on their profile. For context, I checked in October and they graduated in June. This was a huge red flag for me. I didn't want to go through the whole program and ended up in the same position. Their career trajectory didn't really align with where I saw my career was going to go after graduation, and so I ended up not applying. TripleTen's bootcamp programs have over 1,000 students who successfully graduated so far, and 87% of them found jobs within 6 months, even though 80% of those students didn't come from a tech background initially, which I think is very impressive. For their software engineering program, this number jumps to 89%. Graduates had an average salary increase of $29,000 annually. Graduates of their data science bootcamp had an average increase of $42,000 in annual salary, which is a huge jump after working on your goal part-time for only 10 months. As for tech salaries, TripleTen has a really interesting report on this as well. Software engineering graduates earn a median income of $75,000 and data science graduates earn a median income of $89,000. To understand more what it's like to go through the bootcamp, you can also search for graduates who share their authentic experiences going through specific programs on platforms like Reddit and YouTube. TripleTen has a section on their website that features student stories as well. The second question that you should be asking is, what kind of network will you gain? When you choose to spend money for boot camps, you're not just paying for the curriculum. Yes, you are, but you are also tapping into their network of alumni and partner companies, which can make a huge difference when it comes to job hunting. 2 years ago, when I took a graduate level computer science course at Stanford, I worked on a final project with two other classmates, one of whom worked at a major tech company. At the time, I didn't think much of it, but later that connection helped me get a referral when I found a job I wanted to apply to at his company, which I'm sure is what got me attention from the recruiters and led to a full-blown interview process. From anecdotal stories that I hear, you almost have no chance without a referral in big tech if you're entry level and didn't come from a target school. Studies have shown that personalized messages can increase your chances of getting a response on LinkedIn as high as 55%. So when you're reaching out to people on LinkedIn for referrals, this is a great place to start your conversation and connect on shared experiences. According to a study by the Federal Reserve Bank of St. Louis, networking effectively can reduce your job search by up to 3 months. Bootcamp is usually cheaper than a degree, but there's still a significant investment. The next thing that you should look out for is, do they genuinely care about your success, or do they just want your money? You want to look for programs that go beyond just teaching technical skills. TripleTen offers a money-back guarantee. If you don't land a relevant job within 10 months of graduation, you get 100% of your tuition back. This is a sign that they're really confident in their program and that you'll actually achieve your goal. They also offer tutoring services from people who have 5+ years of experience in their field to mentor you along your learning and job search journey. These tutors can not only help you understand your technical concepts, but also provide industry contacts and help you with mock interviews, having gone through them themselves, or maybe even conducting them at their workplace. TripleTen will also help you with resume and portfolio reviews to make sure that you stand out among other candidates. If you have followed me for a while, you know that I'm a huge advocate for portfolio projects. I built my portfolio projects based on modifying existing school projects, and they're what got me my first job in tech and what inspired me to build build my company portfolio method to help more others. I really like TripleTen because their capstone projects are practical and actually done in collaboration with industry partners. These projects give you real experience to showcase on your resume and on your portfolio. If a bootcamp doesn't have this kind of support system and community measures in place, then you might as well just use free resources to learn, like on YouTube or online courses. Last but not least, and this goes without saying, you should always review the curriculum, making sure that it aligns with the current job market and matches your experience level. TripleTen is designed for beginners with no prior tech experience, but not all bootcamps are like this. Some require you to have more advanced knowledge before you start. If you come across a bootcamp that you're unsure if it's worth the money or time, always feel free to send me a message on LinkedIn or Instagram, and I'll be happy to take a look for you. Before we wrap up this video, I want to quickly touch on choosing a career in data science versus software engineering. One of the most asked questions I get is, how do I know which one is right for me? Both are fantastic options. They're well paid, highly respected, and offer great career growth. It is also not uncommon to hear people who work as software engineers and want to work with AI more become data scientists and vice versa. The key here is to figure out which role aligns best with your current interest and skills, and ultimately comes down to what you would enjoy doing the most on a day-to-day basis. Let's look at the difference in skills required for each role. As part of the curriculum at TripleTen Software Engineer Bootcamp, you will learn how to code in HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and React. You also build a final project for up to 4 weeks. You learn these skills in 2-week sprints, similar to sprints on a typical engineering team. Basically, what that means is that you focus on learning one topic or solving one problem very intensively for a short amount of time. Here, you're going to learn page layout and semantics before moving on to advanced HTML and CSS, and then you combine them together in the adaptive web design and working with layout sprints. Within each sprint, you also have mini lessons grouped by topics, and at the end, interactive quiz to help you retain the knowledge you learned, and a project section to reinforce your learning by doing. In the data science bootcamp, your programming language will predominantly be Python instead of HTML and CSS. You will learn machine learning from the very basics like linear regression and classification models to more advanced topics such as neural networks and natural language processing models. Best software engineering practices are also so important, even as data scientists, since you'll be working with engineers a lot to help bring prototype ideas into production. As a data scientist, you'll need to be fluent in SQL as a programming language, which is covered by TripleTen's free SQL bootcamp. For the business intelligence analytics program, instead of learning Python, you would focus more on the business use cases that include storytelling with data, understanding business metrics, and working with spreadsheets like Excel. It also includes hands-on experience with a client company for 3 to 5 weeks, which is such a valuable experience. Now that you have an understanding of the basics knowledge needed for each role, the main difference lies in what you do on a day-to-day basis. If you like head-down coding, enjoy building things from scratch, and solving problems logically, software engineering can be a great choice. It is also the option that requires the least amount of communication skills if you don't like communicating with stakeholders. Data scientists usually have a lot of curiosity and enjoy finding patterns and answering questions with numbers and models, whereas business analysts or data analysts interact most with business stakeholders, often needing to write reports and present findings that are not generated from coding or models. One final thought on the data science versus business intelligence analytics program. If you're not entirely sure which one you want to do and don't hate the idea of coding, I highly recommend choosing the data science option. While both programs are excellent options, completing the data science program will open doors to more opportunities and probably higher paying ones too. Even if the job market is competitive, you can start as data analyst or business analyst and work your way up to data scientist positions, whereas it doesn't really work the other way around. If you complete the business intelligence analytics program and decide you want to become a data scientist, you're still going to be a long way off from being qualified for an entry-level role. Thank you for watching this video. For those of you who have made it this far, I have a discount code for you, Maggie, for 30% off. This is the biggest offer from TripleTen. I highly recommend checking them out, as I really think this is a good example of how good bootcamps should be, with their strong career support, money back guarantee, and good job outlook upon graduation. Feel free to drop any questions in the comment section below and connect with me on LinkedIn and Instagram. You got this, and I'll see you guys in the next video.